Rocky just watching on any civvies? Is he no good?
No, he's no good. No, he's not playing. It's one of those injuries where you just think it's going to be, and it just doesn't quite get there. And so he'll miss a game this week, and he could potentially miss a game next week. But because I keep getting a bit frightened of saying he'll be right next week, so we'll just let it go and let it play out. He'll be back as soon as he can.
Was the taking of him to China potentially a bit too far in hindsight?
Nah, well, now it is, clearly now, but not that we thought at the time that it was a bad decision. And it's certainly still not a bad decision as far as his recovery goes, because he's at the same point. He's no worse before he went, and he's no better. That's the problem. He hasn't got any better, so...
It's just a hamstring.
Yeah, it is. It's just and it's a very small one, but that's just what they do sometimes. And, Rocky would say his speed's killing him at the moment, which we know he hasn't got any of.
Any temptation to bring in Ollie then?
Yeah, obviously there's a temptation to do it, but the right thing for us to do is to give him the best opportunity to perform at his absolute best when he comes back into the AFL, which we'd be predicting won't be far away.
So likely just Hammer.
Yeah, Hammer will be in. Yeah, Hammer will come in and Broggs will go out.
Was that again a call was made early on Hammer with the sensitivity around Matty? Can you tell us any more?
Yeah, other than that, Matty's obviously been brave enough to stand up now and talk about some of his issues with us, and we understand them, and we understand the challenges of mental health. We all get it. It doesn't discriminate. There's no right or wrong time to have those moments. And Broggs, he's done some really great work over the last couple of years. He's dealt with a fair bit, and he's back playing football, but it's still a challenge for him. And we'll give him the time and we'll give him the space that he needs now, and we'll respect that privacy that he's asked for, and we'll look after him.
How hard is it as a coach then? Because normally you would associate someone who's sort of struggling, but he's come a long way back. He's in the team and he's playing well. How hard is it for you as a coach to see someone who's sort of successful?
As I said, it doesn't discriminate. That's just what the world is today, and we see it regularly. And we've seen it regularly this year in the AFL, more than we've ever seen, which is a good thing. That the players now and people involved in the competition are brave enough and able enough to step out and say, no, look, I just need some support right now at this moment, and that's what we'll do for Matty.
How big have the strides been in the industry over the last maybe 5 years, Ken, just in the acceptance of mental health and stigma?
There's certainly been significant, but there's a long way to go. I think there's still a long way to go, because I think we understand that some of the issues that are forced upon players come from outside the football club, and they're much harder for us to control and handle. We can understand and control what we can inside the club, but the world of social media and everything else that goes on, it's scrutinised within an inch of their lives, and that's what happens. And there's other things that go on in your life that are just not football related.
Do you reckon, Ken, you've got a pretty good support network even just within the group? We know Charlie sort of documented some of the issues that he's faced this year as well, and no doubt there would be other players that have sort of gone through similar things. Do you think the group's pretty sort of well positioned to help Matthew through something like this?
I think the AFL, the AFLPA and the clubs in particular are really well positioned to handle it, but as we find out every day, we've got to continually learn more about it and understand it better to help and support our players, because I think it's now not unusual, which is a good sign. I think it's not unusual for people to speak about it. So now for us to get more education, for everyone outside to get education on what it means, and I'm sure people deal with mental health issues outside of AFL football, so it's no different. They're sensitive, and you give them some privacy.
Has it been a learning thing for you as well, Ken, in your time as a coach?
It's been one of the biggest things that I've dealt with, I think, that I perhaps didn't anticipate as much, and that's 7 years ago now, though. So, from where I started coaching 20 years ago, or whatever it was, it's certainly got bigger and it's got more challenging. But I think, again, that's because people are braver. People are more prepared to speak about it, and I think that's really important.
Can you see warning signs now, Ken? Like, can you pick up on it?
Oh, yeah, I think you know your players really well. I think you understand them, and you know their history too. And, and all the players on our list, we have a great understanding of, at times some of their struggles, some of their good times and some of their bad times. That's just what it is. And, good coaching, good football clubs, good connected football clubs do understand a lot about their people.
Any concern over the surface? It's been reported the Eagles and the Dockers are actually getting together with the authorities over there to figure out what the hell's going on with the firmness of the stadium. Does that concern you at all?
Yeah, well, we're certainly probably not as informed as they are. Obviously, Ross and Adam would have a much better understanding of that, about the concerns that they face. We don't have any concerns because we don't go there that often. We played 2 games there this year and maybe 1 last year. I think, I'm not sure, 2 there last year perhaps. But so we don't get to play on there a lot. It's a bit like Etihad. You don't get to play on there a lot. So it's not a big deal for us.
So you guys, last time you played the Eagles, everything was fine afterwards. No sort of extended soreness, just a regular.
Yeah, just a regular game for us. And as I said, you recover and you come off it and you do everything you can to recover for the next week. But again, the people who are best qualified are the ones who are dealing with it daily.
They're all big games, obviously, Ken. But
Yep.
when 2 teams are 6 and 5, in that sort of bracket, does it magnify it even more?
Makes it a big game, Tommy, doesn't it? It's a big game. No, they are. But the whole competition's like that now, and we've got another 11 games to go, and I'm sure there'll be some great wins and some poor losses. There'll be all sorts of things go on, but I just sit here and always say, just wait till the end of the season and make some assumptions and make some calls at that stage, because every game that we're involved with for us as a football club is a massive game because it means so much in what we're trying to achieve. Whether it's 6 and 5 or we're 5 and 6, it's still a big day.
Does that win earlier against West Coast, which Theo touched on, does that give you confidence knowing you won at the ground and you can win in hostile territory? Yeah,
well, it certainly helps. It doesn't hurt to know that we've been over there this year and played probably our best game potentially of the season as far as a consistent performance went. We've played some good games throughout the season and we've played some not so good moments, but it's really nice to know that we played well over there and we've performed at a level that we know can beat good sides. So that's what we face this week, another good side.
Probably about a month ago, we sort of sat here and you mentioned the fact that your ball use going inside the forward 50, your work forward to the ball wasn't where you wanted it to be. It looked really sharp over in China against the Saints. Do you take something out of that in terms of a method that you can sort of use going forward? Yeah,
one of the great things we did was we kicked straight. We kicked 20 goals free, I think, at one stage on the scoreboard. So that's a good method if we could just continually kick the ball straight between the sticks. But no, it's just a work in progress. We understand that, and every side's the same. We're not that different to any side. There's parts of your game that you're always working to improve, and our ability to hit the scoreboard more consistently is one that we've worked on.
And Robbie looked really sharp and looked like he added a bit of a dynamic coming back into that forward line as a different size target with his marking ability. How much of a difference do you think he makes?
I think Robbie, he would be the first to say that's as well as he'd played this season, and I think, I'm trying to think of all the games, but I think he would be pretty comfortable and say he moved and felt like that was as good as he'd been, and that's great for us, isn't it? Because we've got one of the absolute best players in the competition just feeling like he's getting going, so hopefully he can keep going. But Fremantle, they'll be doing everything they can to stop him. We'll be doing everything we can to stop one or two of their really, really recognisable players, but there's always players that you don't recognise, but for us, Robbie's pretty important.
Can you see Robbie he's had more midfield time over the last few weeks? Do you see that continuing when Ollie and Rocky are back in the side, or is it more just a needs must?
Yeah, well, there'll be a little bit of work in progress where we get the best results, where we need to put certain people at certain times. And, as you said, there's some challenges with our inside mids that are potentially coming back into the side over the next few weeks. So we'll work with that at the moment, but we won't lock anything away because you always get challenged by something else. You get some back, you lose some, all those things come up. So it's a bad old thing, but we're going to have to go one at a time, aren't we?
And it's hard to probably say, but all things being equal, if they pull up well, Charlie and Ollie, just one more sample game?
Well, at least one more this week, anyhow, Tom. That's what that'll be. But we're not sure. Look. Let's hope the team, and we go over to Perth and we play a really good game, and those boys who are playing make it really hard for any changes to happen. That would be the best position for me to sit in as coach. But I also know that I've got some really handy boys underneath who are pushing them ready to go and wanting to play. And I can guarantee you that Brad, Charlie, and Ollie all stated their case this week to play. So they didn't win.
How happy are you for Hamish?
Yeah, really happy. I mean, it's always when anyone comes back from a significant injury, and it's taken him a bit longer than he would have liked, but he's vice captain of the club. He's such an important bloke in this football club, and he plays football the way we all love to watch it being played. He's hard, he's aggressive with the ball, he just does all the right things. But, we don't expect massive things from him first up. We're just wanting to be a good, consistent member of our back six.
What was his reaction like when you told him?
Yeah, well, he's had some frustrations getting there, so he's pretty excited, clearly. But he'd be nervous too, I reckon. He'd be a little nervous. He's coming back. He hasn't played AFL football since round 5, I think. Round 5, which is a long time ago. So he'll be a little nervous, but he's ready.
And good news for Ewa as well.
Yeah, Brad was terrific news, and again we've done the right thing. His health's first and foremost been at the top of the agenda for us, and even this week we could have brought Brad into the side, but to give him the best case scenario to recover and play and feel confident was to give him a game in the Maggies.
So, is this the last 6 or 8 weeks with all those injuries and the fact that you've been able to bring players in and cope to some degree, does it all set you up for the second half of the season now that you've got players coming back? You're hopeful that things even out and you're well set, knowing that you've got players below ready to go.
That's what everyone tells you, but it doesn't quite work out that way all the time, does it? Oh, you got everything. You got a few players coming back, but we've got good players who have been in good form too. So I always say you don't lose all the play when you haven't got them in the side. You get to replace them, so it's not as big a difference as you think. But yeah, it's really important to have good people coming back into your team, and experienced players, and all those boys that we're talking about have got an enormous amount of AFL experience. So that will certainly help us in the back half of the season.
Good reunion last week.
Well, back over in the mighty Pies, Camperdown, it was good to see all the boys from a long, long time ago. 20 years though, it's a long time ago.
Was that your first coaching gig?
No, it wasn't. No, started before that, so I've been coaching for a long time, haven't I? How's your golf going?
Yes.
It's been reported Burjo's going to...
Who?
Burjo's going to separate from
Burjo.
Arsenal. You give him a buzz and see what he's up to?
I reckon he'll give us a buzz. He always does. We speak regularly still, so it's no big deal for us to be talking and chatting and seeing where he's at. But I think there'll be, whatever the opportunities are in front of Darren now, he'll work his way through that, and then at some stage there'll be conversations go on between not just Port Adelaide Football Club, but I would have thought there'd be potentially 15 or 16 other AFL clubs that would be talking to Darren Burgess.
Would you like him back?
Burjo's always been a high quality person, so without saying, you definitely like people like that to come back. You always like good people coming to your football club, but we've also got really good people running our football club since Darren left, and they were trained by Darren, so he would be the first one to say, I reckon, that, you've got some good people working at the footy club right now, so good luck.